Assuming buying a house in the Dallas suburbs today works the same way that it did the last time you bought is exactly what's causing buyers to lose the right house right now. Not because they're unqualified, not because they can't afford it, but because they're making decisions based on a market that no longer exists.
The home buying process still follows similar steps. That part has not changed. But how you move through those steps and when certain decisions actually matter changes every time the market shifts. And today's market looks nothing like it did back in 2021.
This is where buyers get caught. The decisions made early determine how much control that you have later. So when the right house finally comes along, you're either ready to choose with confidence or you're forced to react under pressure.
If you follow 5 simple steps in the right order, you can avoid unnecessary stress, avoid losing money, and avoid losing the home you actually wanted.
In this market, step 1 is not touring homes. It's actually getting positioned properly before you ever start looking. And that starts with clarity on why you're moving, what actually matters in the next home, and what needs to be different this time. Because when you're clear on these things, it becomes much easier to know where to look and much easier to recognize the right home when you see it. I'll be honest, I cringe when I see posts on social media about someone who looked at 50 homes over the span of 2 years before they finally found the one. This just isn't necessary. That's not a badge of honor, and it usually means that no one slowed the process down early to get clear on what actually mattered.
When buyers skip this step, they end up spending time on homes that were really never a good fit for them in the beginning. Then they look at too many houses. They get overwhelmed and second-guess decisions. And sometimes they get emotionally attached to a home that doesn't even serve their needs long term. What we found out is that spending a few minutes up front, getting clear on what you really need and what you want can completely change the experience. It sounds simple and almost elementary, but it's one of the most helpful and impactful things our clients do to find the right home without all the extra stress or wasted time.
Once you're clear on what you're looking for, the next thing that has to be decided is how you're paying for the house. Now, that's not something to figure out later, trust me, because once you find the right home, everything moves quickly. And whichever route you're taking, it needs to be fully confirmed up front. And at a high level, there are generally just 2 ways to buy. Either you're buying with a mortgage or you're paying with cash.
If you're paying with cash, sellers are going to require proof of assets. That means a current statement dated recently on a financial institution's letterhead. You can redact private information, but it has to clearly show that you have the funds available. Beyond that, you want to understand any ramifications of where those assets are currently held. If it's coming from investments, you need to know what that means from a timing and tax standpoint. And you need to know how long it takes to actually access those funds so you don't miss out on deadlines or create issues once you're under contract.
If you're getting a mortgage, it's just as important to work with the right lender. Not every lender is a good fit for every type of purchase. We see problems come up when buyers work with lenders who don't regularly handle the kind of transaction that they're trying to do. In some cases, local banks can be slow, and in others, they may not offer the right loan products or have experience with similar properties.
You want a lender who understands your situation, has the right options for you, and knows how to execute. It's not just about getting approved. It's about getting to the closing table without delays or surprises. And I would caution you not to choose a mortgage lender based on interest rate. Rates can change. What matters more is having the right structure, the right guidance, and the ability to get you to the closing table, not just quote a rate.
If we haven't met yet, we are Bret and Molly Chance, owners of Texas Home Life Realty right here in Flower Mound. We've been helping families buy and sell homes across the Dallas suburbs for over about 20 plus years now.
If you want to know how to successfully buy a home in the Dallas suburbs in this current market, you can book a discovery call with us using the link down below.
Now, once your financing is solid, the next thing that buyers have to understand is how the market actually works right now. Not how it worked last time you bought, not what the headlines are saying, what's really happening when homes hit the market, when they go under contract, and what's actually selling. Some homes sell quickly still, some sit, and usually there's a reason why. Condition matters, pricing matters more, location matters more. Prepared buyers feel calmer in this market. Unprepared buyers feel rushed and can miss great opportunities.
Another big shift buyers are paying more attention to now is who they're actually hiring to represent them, and they should. There are new rules around signing an agreement with an agent before viewing homes or submitting an offer. That alone has made buyers slow down and think more carefully about who they're working with. In the past, buyers would just call an agent on the sign or click the agent whose photo was next to the house online. They really didn't care who it was as long as that person could get them in the door. That is a big mistake.
Hiring the wrong real estate agent can cost you thousands of dollars or cost you the right home entirely. And most buyers don't realize that until after the deal is already going sideways. This market doesn't reward guessing or working with someone who's just learning as they go or desperate for a paycheck. You want someone who understands how homes are actually moving, how to spot issues early, and how to guide you through decisions before they become expensive problems. Most people think the agent's job is just to find them homes and open doors. That's a very small part of it. The real job is helping you avoid the wrong house and knowing how to protect and position you correctly when you find the right one.
Last year, 70% of the real estate agents did not sell a single home. Is it worth trusting one of your biggest purchases you'll ever make to someone who does not even sell many homes? If you want help knowing what to look for when choosing the right real estate agent, we've put together a checklist you can grab below.
Now, once you've found the right home, most buyers think the next step is simply deciding on a price. But price is only one piece of the puzzle. The first thing your agent should be doing is learning everything they can about the house and the seller. What matters most to them: timing, flexibility, certainty. Those details matter just as much as the number on the contract.
We see this all the time. Some sellers care deeply about price. Others care more about timing. They may be building a new home and need extra time to move out, or they may want a quick, clean closing with fewer hassles. There are many ways to structure an offer that makes it appealing to the seller without simply paying more. There are around 21 items in a contract that can be negotiated, like the closing date, concessions, earnest money. Those are just to name a few. Knowing which levers to pull can make a big difference between winning the home and losing it.
Before an offer is written, your agent should also run a market analysis. Sometimes the home may be overpriced, and sometimes it's right on the money, and occasionally it's underpriced. But you don't want to guess, and you don't want to overpay just because you're trying to win. A strong offer isn't about being aggressive. It's about being informed and structuring the deal in a way that works for you and makes sense to the seller. That's how you win the right home without unnecessary risk.
Once you're under contract, this is where details and communication matters the most. It's not complicated, but it is important. Timelines matter a lot, and there are more negotiations that can happen. After inspection of the property, if repairs were negotiated, make sure you receive and review the receipts for the work that was done before a closing day. That step alone can avoid a lot of frustration later on.
And if you're getting a loan, get any requested documents to your lender as quickly as possible. Delays here can create stress or push timelines and potentially cause you to lose the house.
And always do a final walkthrough of the home before closing. Make sure it looks the way it did or better than the last time you saw it. And then any agreed upon repairs were completed as expected.
Clear communication throughout this phase is what helps catch issues early and avoid surprises right before closing. Most problems don't come out of nowhere. They come from things being missed or not addressed in time.
Buying a home today isn't harder, but it is different. How you buy changes every time the market changes. But if you follow these steps in the right order, you can avoid a lot of unnecessary stress, avoid losing money, and avoid losing the right home.
Whether you're planning a move soon or just starting to think about it, understanding how this market works now puts you in a much better position when the time comes. And if you want to talk through how this applies to your situation, you can always book a call using the link below.